And y'all, this big old shootout really pissed me off because nobody got hurt. You know what I'm saying? A big old shootout, all this. What's up, people? We are back with another video. It's your boy Isaiah. And guess what, guys? I just got done finished watching Money Heist season 4. And you know, while it's still in my head and I still got my thoughts, wrote something down, whatever. We're gonna talk about season 4. You know, if you don't like spoilers, then don't watch the video. But if you like spoilers, if you already watched it, let's talk about it. You know, let's talk about the series of season 4 and what happened and what could lead up to the next season, because I thought it was gonna finish up with this season and just, you know, wrap it up and be a big explosion. But they smart. They know that's a hit show everywhere. So yeah. If you're not familiar with Money Heist is, or formerly known as Casa Del Papel, if you translate it to the English, it's Money Heist and things of that nature. Probably can't announce it correctly because I'm not Spanish. But Money Heist basically is where it's a group of robbers who come together to basically pull off the biggest heist Spain has ever seen. So there's that. And so just to remind you people who have watched it, who have not watched it, just the characters who are still around for this season. It is Tokyo, Professor, Lisbon, Nairobi, Rio, Denver, Stockholm, Helsinki, and Bogota, my fault. And of course there's a bunch of other characters, but we'll try to get into them a little later. So season 4, we end off where presumably Lisbon gets shot. But Lisbon doesn't actually get shot, she gets taken. But to the professor's mind, and when we open up for season 4, he doesn't know, and guess what happens? He's in distraught, he's sad, he's upset, he's like, oh my goodness, what's going on? You know, the love of my life is gone, she's dead, boo-hoo, woohoo, hoo-hoo. But come to find out, she's not, but he finds that later on in maybe episode 2. So he gets it together. That's what's going on outside, and he has to get it together and figure out what he's going to do and how to get his people out of the bank. Meanwhile, in the bank, Nairobi, she got shot. But fortunately, they're trying to get a nurse to do surgery, or a doctor to get surgery. But no one comes in, so they have to do it from the inside. There's somebody helping them. Who knew Tokyo was with her hands and was able to help get the bullet out and do a successful surgery. So that happens. They found out Lisbon is dead, but she's not really dead. Tokyo basically tells the professor, how do you know she's really dead? Did you see the body? And that gets his mind rolling, being like, well, wait a minute, you're right, because there are things that we did that they didn't see, so they're probably just pulling one on us, they're playing a trick that we played on them. So fortunately, he goes back to Spain, told not to go back, but he went back anyways, because, you know, that's his woman, that's his girl. He went back, and in order for him, he figured out the clues for him to see that his girl was still there and alive. And so then he ended up getting somebody to help him from the tent. You know, he played his little tricks on the guy, got him to help and sent a message to Lisbon that, you know, I'm gonna help get you out, or I'm with you, I see what's going on. And meanwhile, probably episode 2, 3, 4, Palermo basically is not in charge anymore. Tokyo takes charge, and he's very upset. Palermo gets tied up because he ends up causing a ruckus, and then he starts talking to the guy named, I can never remember his name correctly. His name is Gandia. That's his name. He ends up getting Gandia's head, who's basically the head of security for the guy at the bank. So gets in his head and says that, you know, you can do something to get out of the cuffs. He ends up getting out, and in that way, for that to happen, Palermo thought he was gonna get his power back, because, you know, Palermo, it's all about the plan. He's all about the bank, the motive of getting out, and making sure everything just goes the way he wants to go, because he's unpredictable. So that happens, and that becomes where everything starts to skyrocket. You see Rio is confronted with the head of security. I can never remember his name correctly. The head of security, and he has PTSD for what happened to him, and he can't do anything and gets upset. People are a little mad at him, but they end up realizing he just has PTSD. So finally, Palermo gets free and is trying to get after the guy. But, you know, let's just say the head of security guy, he's causing a ruckus. Basically, he attempts to kill Nairobi, but doesn't kill Nairobi. And then, you know, he's one off. He's trying to, there's all a bunch of shootouts, shootout after shootout. That's when, you know, all right, where the shootouts? These shootouts happen. You know, he's in a safe spot. After he gets in the safe spot, y'all, he ends up coming out, gearing up, gets in contact with people, gear up, goes outside. He ends up taking Tokyo as a hostage. Doesn't kill her or anything, but as a hostage because he needs her alive, for things to go his way. Ends up being this big old shootout. And y'all, this big old shootout really pissed me off because nobody got hurt. You know what I'm saying? A big old shit, all this ammo. That he's basically stuck between two sides of him getting shot at. That is security. And I'm sitting up there like, y'all, all them shots. Although what happened to Rio and what happened to Denver, I can understand why they may not be all there to shoot. But the rest of them, they should have been there and they should have been able to shoot him dead. But they couldn't shoot him dead. One person in the show who really pisses me off from the beginning of the series, who pisses me off, is Arturo. That man, every time he's there. When I saw Denver beat him up, I was like, word, but his girlfriend was upset. I was like, she doesn't. They ended up breaking up because like she's very upset with what he did, and he doesn't want his son to be around that type of influence and anger. Which he is angry because, you know, hey, he's upset about stuff, you know, his father died, things of that nature. But Arturo gotta go. I've been waiting for somebody to shoot him, and finally somebody does shoot him. But towards like the end, he needs to be shot from the jump. Not like he's dead or anything. So let's continue on. The head of security, he gets away. They're all reconvene with each other. He's starting to escape. Now, with all this happening, where is the professor? The professor is basically freaking out. The professor doesn't know what's going on. He got to get himself back together because basically everything that he planned is not going the way he wants it to go. You know, when everything's on the plan, he needs to find a way to get back. So, you know, he's thinking, and then he ends up telling them that he is an assassin and they need to, you know, do their due diligence and kill the motherfucker. But him being an assassin, he's all for trying to kill everybody and whatnot. So let's get back inside. We get back inside. At some point, that security would, you know, disappear. He ends up going to the air vents and ends up going into the bathroom. When he's in the bathroom, Nairobi was there. But Nairobi, you know, just had surgery. She's in like a wheelchair, and he ends up taking her as the next hostage. He basically just gives her hell. Let's just put it that way. So we're there, and I'm like, damn. Every time they was able to shoot, he was wearing they never got a good shot of him, and it just pissed you off. And then boom, another standoff. There was Denver and Rio was in the vents to get the head of security, and then you got the other guys on the back of the corner where they see Nairobi. She's there and she's safe, but you know she gets shot in the hand. Everybody's trying to figure out, well, where's Tokyo? They can't get to Tokyo. And then basically, the head of security basically tells them, listen, I'm going to come out of this bathroom. I'm going to take Nairobi. And Nairobi, I'm going to put into a gun to her head. And then y'all better not shoot me because I will shoot her. But I'm not going to shoot her. So, you know, they get out of the bathroom. Bada boom, bada bang. Everybody's there. They move. When he move, they move. He move, they move. And you know, if you remember in season 3, he says that he's going to kill her. And y'all, unfortunately, the best character of the show died. Nairobi. I was like, wait, what? You gonna kill Nairobi? And when I tell y'all, he shot her dead in the face, dead in the forehead. When I saw that, I just said, no. Nairobi. Why? Why must you die? You was the best character. You had your head on straight because you was the one who liked that money. But the rest of them, they got relationship issues. They got love issues. They got PTSD. They got this, that, the third. Everybody got something going on besides Nairobi. Nairobi was the one who got her head on straight. Although there was some point she was a little off. But I mean, for the most part, she had her head on straight. You saw that. Everybody's pissed. Everybody's like, nah, we're gonna get him. And finally, they get him, but just a little bit. Because as soon as Nairobi got shot, he ends up running, and then Denver ends up chasing him with a grenade. He ends up running after him, and when he runs after him, he's running after him to where his safe spot is. He barely makes it because he ends up getting hurt because the grenade that ricochets. Basically, he got some things in his back. To sum that up, they end up finding out where he was, and then from there, they find a way how to get in. They knock the door down to where the secret hideout spot was, and they end up getting Tokyo, and they end up getting the head of security. Boom. You think right there they kill him, but they eat him for like a secret little plan they got going on. Meanwhile, Professor gets it back together. He helps them out. In the meantime, the Professor, he's figuring out what he's gonna do, helps them out, and then now he's planning on getting his girl out. And the way he gets his girl out, that was dope, you know what I'm saying? Like, the way he just gets everything together and the way he just does things, plans it all out, great execution, makes you just be like, nah, that's not gonna happen. And then it happens, and you're like, oh, wow. Well, all right, I wasn't expecting that. Boom, that happens. And then y'all, so many things start to escalate. Everything that the government and the police officials were doing, everybody in that tent was doing, basically gets outed for all the bullshit that they was doing because they did things illegally and they can get in trouble for it. So you got Alicia, who basically got fired, and she basically starts accusing people. Well, it basically starts outing whatever she did and everybody else in the government did. So she's wanted dead, but she wants to, you know, then she wants to set herself straight and wants to get back in the force and back in the good wills of the people. So she does what she needs to do in the good graces of the people, and basically just finish the mission is what she really wants to do, because she's real driven, because, you know, she's like a badass, and she's pregnant too, which, you know, you think she'd be sleeping, but I guess not. So meanwhile, how the professor gets the his girl out, well, let's just say there's a tunnel involved. That's all I'll put it like that. There's a tunnel involved, almost like Prison Break. But after all that, well, I said this is a good season. This was a good season. I liked it. Like when you're watching the episode, you sometimes you gotta pause it and you're like, oh, wait a minute, what's going on? What's going on? I don't know about y'all, but I like to watch the show in Spanish. But then sometimes when I'm tired of watching it in Spanish and reading subtitles, I watch it in English. But see, I watch it in Spanish because it's just when they start cussing each other out and they start going crazy, it's just better. God, when they go in like cussing each other out and talking, oh, you just feel it more. Like, yeah, they said what they meant. They meant that shit. When they say cállate la puta, they meant cállate la puta. And they say with emphasis. And then, so like, when I tell y'all, even like within the last episode with what was going on and how the professor needed the head of security guard, make his next plan go correctly, was just so dope and just so like, oh wow, that happened. Although when you think about it, why I like the show is because you want them to win. Although I think in the reality of things like that, it just wouldn't happen. But because it's so like they're going there with everything, you're just like, all right, so what else you gonna do? Because when I thought I was gonna finish for this season, it didn't finish. So now I'm like, all right, so the 5th season, is that gonna be it? Because now what happened in the last episode, if you guys watched the last episode, his girlfriend ended up, well, basically, I'll just say it, there's an extraction. The plan the professor had was basically to bring his girlfriend Lisbon back into the bank, although she wasn't there to begin with. So the reason why the head of security was there was so that he can then make communication to the people in the tent for him to make his way out. But you know, in the great professor fashion, he was able to do his thing to make sure it was his people coming in to bring his girlfriend inside. Which now I'm like, the girlfriend's there now. What is gonna happen? And then the head of security guy isn't dead, so we know some other shit's gonna go down. And then now I forgot Alicia, y'all. Basically, Alicia being Alicia and the badass that she is and the cop that she wants to get shit done, and she's gonna get it done, how we see in the show, she basically figures out where a hideout could possibly be. Let's just say Alicia finds out where the hideout spot is, where the professor is at, but she ends up finding him, and then they'll end up having like a standoff, and she says, checkmate, bitch, and you're like, oh, this is gonna be good. Although for me, I think she's gonna join. Because at that point, because the guy in the tent wants to kill you and you already wanted, and although this can make you go back in and be great, but you already snitched. So at this point, you might as well just join. So in my mind, I think she really wants to see why. I think she just wants to know what the professor is about and why Lisbon is so attracted to him and how they work out. I think she's more intrigued than anything in the world, because he's been able to do this and gain everybody off their ruckus. And it's like, all right, so like, who are you? What are you about? But I can't wait for season 5. I'm ready for it. If you haven't watched it, you need to get on it. You're wasting time. We all in quarantine. You know what I'm saying? We ain't got nothing but time in this bitch. Anyways, guys, that's the end of my video. Let me know if you're watching Money Heist and what you thought of season 4. And if you're about to start Money Heist, and what do you think is gonna happen in season 5? I think a lot of shit's gonna go down. I'll see you on my next video. All right, peace.